Alright, hello everyone, my name is Alison and I want to give you a big warm welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk about 4 things that I wish someone told me when I moved out of my parents' house, and really this is just a good advice for any young adult, so I will be addressing it to both, but yeah, I think these are things that people need to hear, especially, not just women, but I think young women especially is kind of who I'm gearing it towards because I am a young woman, and these are just things that I think if you just moved out of the house, if you're in that like 18 to young, lower 20, mid 20s, I think it's good to hear these things. So I want to get into it now. The furnace is on, and so I feel like the heat is really loud right now. So if you can hear that, there we go. Oh, thank you, Lord. It just turned off. Okay, so sometimes it's the little blessings in life that you have to really just take notice of and be thankful for. So anyway, that's not my first piece of advice, but there you go. So my first piece of advice, I have them written down, so if I keep staring down, that is why, is actually something that I've recently, kind of struggled with even, is if you're at home a lot, if you are just at home studying a lot, you might still be living at home, but you go to school online and you're just at home a lot, or whatever it is, your exact scenario, but for me, it's that I'm a stay-at-home wife right now, and so I'm home a lot by myself, and I just need to get out sometimes. Go to a coffee shop, whether it's by myself or with friends, just to get out, be with people, and then I can, read or do it, whatever, on my phone or on a laptop, or just getting out in a coffee shop and being with people, around people is really good when you're at home all of the time. So, I mean, I do recommend trying to meet up with friends or something if you can, but even if you can't, just getting out of the house is still good for you to change up your scenery and just kind of make you not feel so stuck, Especially in the winter time in a northern state like I live in, like Michigan, you can get snowed in sometimes and just feel cooped up. So it is good to get out. That was my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice is to make time for family. This one's really important, really something that I still do struggle with, but especially, so my husband and I got married and we moved about an hour and a half away from my family, which doesn't sound that bad, but it was like an hour or so of that hour and a half was kind of city driving and just intense. I guess not that whole hour, but a lot of it, about half of the commute, was really just crazy expressway city driving, and so we only came home on weekends. We didn't really see our family as much as we had before, and even that was a luxury at times. We didn't come home every weekend, but towards the end of our stay there we missed our family. But make time for family is my second piece of advice, and I really recommend this because you can also just easily neglect your family if you're not living with them anymore, and so I recommend trying to at least once a week spend time with family. If your family is all still I have divorced parents, but if your family's all still together, that makes it easier just to go over to one place once a week and hang out. But for me, my mom 1 week, my dad 1 week, my grandma 1 week, and just kind of balancing that is really important. If you can't get to them, then call them or FaceTime them, FaceTime them, wow. Or some of my friends just pointed out the app Marco Polo to me. That is great as well. It's kind of like FaceTime, and Snapchat combined. It's little face-to-face messages, but it's very quick, and then you can watch the videos back, and then there aren't any gross ads on the side like there are on Snapchat or anything like that. So I highly recommend visiting them, or FaceTiming them, Marco Poloing them, or calling them. Marco Polo and calling are kind of on the same level to me as importance of things you can do. It's always best to see them in person, but if you can't do that, then just something else to get close to them is a good way to communicate. And if you can spend time with them, do that. Talk, have dinner, lunch, breakfast, game night, something would just be good. So my third one is also kind of switching gears. They're all kind of different areas of life. And my third one is to focus on your finances. Now I know this is going to sound very basic and simple and obvious to some people, but to some people, finances can really be a struggle, and I really recommend if you're living on your own, if you are in your early 20s, this is the time to focus on your finances, to get things set up for yourself. And I'm not saying you have to be super strict and be on a tight budget and try to save 80% of your money, 80% of your income, which is impossible anyway if you're going to college. Let's just say that right off the bat. But I recommend, one thing I heard when I was younger that I would just say as a baseline, you live off of 80% of your income, you save 10% of your income and you give 10% of your income. And that is kind of a biblical thing in a way, because the Bible encourages giving and tithing, and you know, just offerings. But then also you should be saving some money. We shouldn't put all of our savings into this world from the Christian's perspective, but you should also you should also save for a rainy day, for something that comes up, a car issue, for getting a payment of some sort, you know, whatever. You just want to have a little extra money stashed away. So I highly recommend that you just start looking into your finances. I'm not saying you need to budget necessarily, but kind of work on a budget perhaps, or use a budgeting app, but at least start saving a little bit when you can, every week, every month, something. Start putting some money away for savings. So those were the first three. Now my fourth one is this is like kind of a broad one. Explore your beliefs and surround yourself with good influences and just like good sources. Really look into, if you were raised in a certain religion, maybe you should make sure that's what you believe. If you have questions, ask questions, and always look to good, credible sources and talk to people, talk to your family, talk to, if it's religion, you know, talk to pastors or just wise, older believers, people who really have some spiritual knowledge. I mean, young people do too. When I say older, I just mean someone who's been in the faith for, you know, 5-10 years at least. But yeah, just look to good sources, look into what you believe. What do you believe religiously, not financially, politically, socially? Like, what are things ethically, morally? What are things that you believe in, that you don't like or don't believe in? And just really start kind of investing in yourself and society at the same time by just kind of educating yourself. And I know learning and education can be a struggle because we just think of school, but it's so much more than that in life. And I feel like I've been realizing that more recently, and just wanting to learn about things. And there's nothing wrong with trying something, whether it's a hobby or trying out a new church or something like that. Seeking to be a better person and seeking the truth in life is really important and is really good. And I know that I found the truth in my life through Christianity and through a lot of just good influences around me who have helped teach me, and I am so thankful for it. So I just would encourage you for these 4 things, and if I want to make it a 5th thing so I can have a 5, I would say my 5th piece of advice for someone who, a young adult, probably more likely this is directed to a young woman but also a young man, and if you've moved out of the house or not, just to take things one day at a time, not get too caught up in worrying about the future, and to, yeah, just relax and take things kind of slowly in that sense. So those are my 5 pieces of advice, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if people really like these videos as much, but I just really wanted to share this. I had these thoughts come to me recently, and I really wanted to get it out in a video. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless, and I will see you all later. Bye.